buy these luxury things and we get this and that, but we're not happy. And what's the purpose of having that new, like, you know, those new Louboutin shoes if you're going into a job that you hate, you know, like, make it make sense. So I felt super seen because right now, you know, I'm looking for a new job, but that's a story for another day. I think at that point I was in denial of how toxic my job was. I knew I had a dream and what I wanted to do, but I was scared. Had so much fear instilled within me to really go for it. And I did everything. I hired a resume writer, tried to do everything I could to get out, apply for so many jobs until I just got fed up last year and I decided to go for it. So I hope you get to watch my story today and be inspired. But here is my journey, year-long journey of how I got to an amazing goal of mine. Today is December 29th, 2023. We're on the cusp of ending this year. And I feel like this video will probably be playing at the end of 2024, and I want to have it as a, look how dirty my room is, but like I want to have it almost as something that I have to document my journey, because I'm at a point, and I've spoken to you guys briefly about this, but like, well, not briefly, probably like last year I had an incident at work where I had to leave. I quit because I got into like just an HR dispute with somebody who worked there, and then I ended up going back because they actually removed the employee from my center. But during that time when I came back last year at this time in December, because I came back from Paris and went back to work, the first time with my mom, I was like, I don't want to go back to this job. And at that time, I didn't want to go back, but I felt like I had to go back because I had no other options, or I just didn't have other things in place to not have to go back, if that makes sense. So now I'm here because like this year has been just a journey for me personally, and I went through some personal things, like I lost my grandmother this year, and just kind of just being in tune with myself and going to therapy of things that I want, and like my job being a big part of the problem of the reason why personally I'm not happy. And I look like this because I came from the gym and I just wanted to speak without like thinking too much about what I wanted to say. And I wanted to document this because I have a dream of being a full-time creator, and I just even wanted to find another job, but I'm just not happy at work, like at all, like to the point I cry in the car pretty much every day before I go in. I'm crying after the fact. And I'm a manager, a practice manager of a center. I manage 2 centers, and they're like multi-million-dollar businesses. And it's not even just managing files, it's just like managing people, doctors, schedules, revenue, because even though it's like a surgical practice, it's pretty much run like a high-end retailer, like a retailer. Like you have sales goals, and I'm dealing with employee relations stuff. I probably have to fire somebody today, like I have to write somebody up, like it's just like all those things in which I can't stand. Like I hate it. I absolutely hate it. And just like, and more so, I'm like a person who doesn't complain ever about anything, and I'm just like, I hate this. I don't do anything I enjoy at this job, like anything. And now with my growth this year on like YouTube and just like Instagram, and it's becoming really hard to balance the two jobs, and like almost impossible to the point like I would love to do more like content creation, but I can't because of work. There's no work-life balance. I just was at the gym and I was interrupted by something going on at work, so I don't even have peaceful mornings, peaceful evenings. It's just my job is interfering with too much of my personal life. I'm not sure a lot of you can relate, but it's like toxic work culture, no work-life balance, and not even like, I don't even have a true 9 to 5, because a true 9 to 5 means you go in at 9 and leave at 5, and like that's it, goodbye, job over. And I feel like my job is never ending. I'm like bothered sometimes 6 in the morning, somebody's calling out, and even when I have the purest intention of just having a great day and just trying to get my mind together for the day and just have like, you know, the gym is like kind of like my meditation period, I'm interrupted, so I'm texting, and like now I'm irritated because I'm irritated by a job that I don't like, and irritated that I have to respond to things. It's just so irritating, and I'm just so unhappy. I got my resume redone this year and wanted to like look for another position. out of fear that I can't be a full-time creator. And this year for 2024, I want to step into really living out my dream and what I really want to do, because I've let fear get in the way a lot. Like just being fearful, not wanting to really admit to anybody, not that I should, that I want to do that, because I'm scared, I'm terrified. Do I really want another job? Like, yeah, I mean, no, I don't. I want to do what I want to do, but I don't want to seem like irresponsible. That's one of the things I was thinking about. Like, I don't want to be irresponsible. Like, I have bills, I'm grown, you know, so for me, I want to step fully in content creation, but then I also don't, like, I have rent, I have things. And I guess one of the parts that were stopping me, and I want to step fully into my fear and give it all I got in 2024, because one of the things, I'm just like, I used to work freelance makeup, and like I remember how it was like living check to check and just kind of not knowing when your next job was, or Hourglass might hire me next week to work at Sephora, or Laura Mercier might not, and then just living life like that. I went to my job now because I wanted more stability right before COVID, just of knowing when my next check would come, as I worked on my blog and started it. So stepping out on faith and wanting to quit my job this year, which will be 2024, I'm afraid that like it'll be rough like it was when I was doing that, and not knowing when your check is gonna come, or not like being happy but then feeling like anxious that you can't pay your rent or pay your car payment. And you know, I live alone. I know my man will support me, I know my mom and family will help, but I just want to be able to do it on my own and be comfortable. So I just wanted to document this part, and whenever I have things on my mind, I think I'm gonna come back here and tell you guys. But I want to say that, so stay tuned for the journey of 2024. But I wanted to get this on record that I'm saying this on December 29th, when I should be getting ready for work at 8:30 in the morning, right before 2023 ends. January 2024, I just got to goal setting and writing everything that I wanted down. My ultimate dream, even on my vision board, was to be a full-time content creator. And was I terrified? I was terrified. Damn near wanted to throw up terrified, but I got to work and came up with the action plan to get to my dream. And the big goal was to save as much money as I can, because I knew what I needed to do to get to where I needed to go. And I was terrified every step of the way, because it just looked bleak. I couldn't see the vision. I knew what I wanted, but I couldn't see the vision. I really had to trust God. This is about to be the most hectic vlog ever. I'm literally in my office at my job today. Later, I'm leaving work early today. Then I'm going to an H&M event, so I'll leave work, get dressed, and get ready. I just put concealer on a little blush. I'll go home, get ready, and then go to the H&M event tonight. So stay tuned, because I'm kind of working my 9 to 5 in between of going to these events. This is life. This is real life. Every New York Fashion Week, I always feel uplifted and just meant for that I'm meant to be here, and this is like my purpose. But between the months of like February and March, I really struggled and really had to work hard at changing my mindset. I knew I couldn't make this jump without changing how I thought about things, my belief system, knowing that everything was going to work out and trusting that it was all going to work out, because it always does. What's left of me? Drowning in what feels just like an ocean. Negativity is getting closer. Hard to keep the heat when it gets colder. You know, sometimes everything just gets... It is March 2nd. So, second day of March. I didn't get to do this video. I want to do this video like March 1st. Just reflecting on February. February was a great month personally for my family, and just celebrating my brother who got married. But it's been a lot of reflection. My anxiety has been through the roof, like causing myself to like stomach pains, that anxious, feeling like I'm going to actually like be sick. Just scared to kind of go for my dreams fully, just having a lot of fear, a lot of doubt. And then, you know I can speak for most people, when you're in a situation where you are uncomfortable and you are not satisfied, you're not happy, and you want the change, and you know you want that change, and it's like, it's literally, you're making yourself anxious knowing that you're afraid, almost like the fear and like the anxiety starts to take over. So I just been trying to focus more on self-care. I went back to the gym because I took like a week and a half off because I went away to Jamaica. But just trying to get back into my routines. But like, I have felt more panicked than I have ever felt in my life. Like panicked and like, oh my God, oh my God, almost a fear of getting stuck. And I know I'm not gonna get stuck, but like, I'm just like fearful of like heading into my dreams. Like when people say like, if your dreams don't scare you, they're not big enough, that's exactly how I feel. I'm like literally about to throw up right now, just like feeling anxious. So I have just been feeling like my plan is to leave my job in May, but like the week coming back from vacation has felt like I cannot do this anymore. I want to quit like today. I'm not trying to make a rash decision, but I'm just like, I just want to go like today. Like I'm just there, like I don't care about this. I hate to say I hate these people, but like I'm just like over it. So I'm hoping. April was such a month for me of clarity and really changing my mindset. I adopted so many new habits this month. Like I started doing affirmations in the morning. I started listening to the podcast. Everything I listened to on YouTube was just positive and goal setting and just really about achieving my goals and just how to achieve your goals and really just changing my attitude and outlook on life. I had the opportunity to go to DC to celebrate Tashira and her wins that she had for the year. And it was such an amazing moment because I got to see somebody that I admire celebrate themselves. So I just felt so much joy on this trip. I even came back and told my therapist, like, oh my God, this was such a great trip. I even got to go to a museum that my dad was featured in. It was such an amazing month of just celebration and just really taking and learning like this new mindset and really realizing in April that only thing that was holding me back was fear, and just really working past that. This was the month that changed my life. So today's my last day at work. It is bittersweet. I have felt all the feels. Like I prayed for this day. I know what I'm doing. I know what I set attentions for, but it still feels bittersweet because of course being at this company for 4 years, I've built relationships. It's my job, it's my team. Like I still feel like really, really sad. I've been going through like anxiety, anxious about like just starting what I want. It's one thing to face the fear and get over it, but to actually be putting it in motion is still very scary. I'm still scared. I'm still operating with the fear. So feeling bittersweet and ending today. I'm like, oh, I want to throw up, I want to barf. But again, I'm grateful. Girl, I don't even think I have to say how great June was. June, it was like being freed from jail. I was so happy. I was lit. I was hanging out with friends. I was having a blast. I just dabbled in my influencer life. I was going to events that I never would have achieved or went to if I was at work. It was my birthday month. I was just literally having the time of my life. I think this is the month where I told you guys I spent money like a drug dealer. So June was great. Wanted to come on here and chit chat. It's a regular Friday and I just want to talk about just some of the biggest challenges that I've been facing since this new endeavor. And it's been a lot of changes in my mindset, of course, and just who I am as a person. I think I talked about like the last clip you probably saw of me just always being used to the hustle and bustle of life, like just hustling, going, go, now that I've been having days, like yesterday I had a day, every day is amazing, by the way, every day is a great day, but yesterday I had a day where it wasn't bad, it was just a slower day. I just edited all day, got my video up, my video didn't do as good as I had hoped it would, and that was upsetting to me, and I'm like, girl, you can only control what you can control, so putting that into place and learning, but just learning that every day doesn't have to be a hustle bustle. It's okay to watch TV, watch a show, all right, I'm gonna get in the shower and like, oh, I'm gonna do this and work at a slower pace. I'm so used to working at like a damn Godspeed's pace that it's just taking some getting used to, but just also knowing. And I guess when I'm like a little bit, I won't say bored, but just a little bit idle, I find myself now more than ever, more than I ever have before, and I'm checking it right now, being online, checking Instagram, scrolling TikTok, and then seeing somebody's content and be like, oh, wow, that's really good. Are my pictures that good? Is my content that good? Oh my God, I gotta do more of that. Oh, I didn't grow as fast enough because maybe I should be doing more. And it's like, it's okay to know that I'm doing amazing. You're doing what you can. You're showing up and you're showing up as your authentic self, and that's okay. And you're showing up as you want and see yourself, and just giving myself the praise to know that you worked hard for these past 5 years to have these moments like this where you don't have to be racing against time. You can take your time. You can enjoy the day. After the gym, you know what I did? I went to Zara and just see what they had in store. Bought stuff I probably shouldn't have bought. But just having that slow mindset to enjoy the day. Like, I've been enjoying my days, and it's just been so like, it's been mind blowing to me because I'll just be like out, like, oh, this is nice and this is nice. Oh, it's nice outside. I'm just enjoying my days, but just knowing that it's okay and learning myself that it's okay to be slow. And I've been fighting my anxiety. My anxiety is a bitch, and I've been fighting her because I'll have a day like today, and then all of a sudden I'm on Instagram scrolling, getting out my head. So setting boundaries that maybe, and even my morning routine, like I'm getting up later, and I will tell you, I've been having 10 times better workouts because I'm rested rather than before when I was always tired all the time from the stress. Getting up at 5 a.m. I did that, getting up to the gym, getting up at 5 a.m. Been there, done that, of course. But I would be so tired at the gym almost all the time that I wasn't having the best workouts. I was there for my mental sanity and self-care, but like I've been having much better workouts, 10 times better workouts. And just being able to come back and enjoy the day and just like, it's just mind blowing to me. It's just crazy. So I'm just learning. I lost my train of thought, but I'm just learning to just enjoy the pace that I'm at, enjoy where I'm at, and keep slapping that bitch anxiety down, like slapping her down. Like I'll be anxious, like, oh my God, what if it doesn't work out? Oh my God, what if it doesn't work out? Oh my God, what if I go broke and I don't have money and I run out all the money that I saved? You're fine. That happened? Has God ever let you down? No. So I just want to say that. July was all about getting to know myself again because honestly, after like leaving my job, I had to understand who I was outside of stress. I didn't know who I was outside of being highly stressed out, crying all the time. What was I like when it was quiet? What did I like to do? That's how the series Jazz in the City started, because it was all about exploring the city. That's why when I would go to Brooklyn, I'm like, oh my God, the bridge was so beautiful. Going to Central Park. Wow, the trees are amazing, because I just didn't know what a slower pace looked like, and that hadn't been my life in the past 4 years. So July was about exploring, getting to learn myself again, like learning what I liked. And can I tell you, for the first time, and not to glorify this, but I did not wake up at 5 a.m. Again, I said the only time I'm waking up at 5 a.m. is to catch a flight. I hated waking up at 5 a.m. I did it for 5 years because I wanted to go to the gym to maintain my body, my physique, and my mental health. But I woke up when I wanted. I went to the gym when I wanted. I did things by myself. I went to social spa. I went to events alone. I ate lunch by myself. And it was all about exploring myself and getting to know me again. Me, the version of myself that was happy. The version of myself that wasn't stressed out. The version of me that I have grown to love. So this is an August 1st update on my progress and just how I'm feeling. I feel like one of the hardest things that I've been learning is that I cannot be in control of every single thing. And I know I've always been controlling and just kind of being that person of how, when, why. Like I need to know every single thing before moving forward, which is sometimes could be a good thing, but it also can stop you from letting beautiful things happen because you are so panicked. Number one, it's like anxiety is at an all-time high. Then you're not controlling the people around you. You're not even trusting God to continue and do and flourish with what you're doing because you're just like, I need to know. And I'm not saying ruining my own moments, but like trying to control everything around me. And it's something that I'm like, I read in my devotion today that we talked about one of my favorites. But it was like learning to let go and trust, because if you don't trust the people around you. You don't trust God. It makes you're even trying to control people. It's just crazy. But just knowing that I'll be okay and just letting everything just unfold in its natural, beautiful way has been hard. I think even coming from my job where I was not in control of everything, because obviously I didn't own the business. This hair is always pissing me off. I didn't own the business. It wasn't my corporation or my company, but like as a leader, you're like, we always tell, like, oh, this is what you have control of. Control, plan, control. And like, I think one of the hardest things is being able to let that part of me go and just know, like, let it unfold. God is okay. It's fine. It's fine. Some days I have days where I'm just like, oh, it's fine. Next I'm like, oh my God, what's happening? What's next? Oh. And it's just like, just breathe. It's all going to work out beautifully, and just learning that it's going to be fine. I feel like I'm already thinking 3 months ahead, where God's like, girl, you didn't even get through August. It's okay. Like, I'm learning to get through the shift of the change. It's been beautiful, but it's also been hard to know. I think even with working a 9 to 5, you know what your everyday is going to look like. You know what your check's going to look like. And this is like different. So just getting used to that. And it's August 1st today, so I just want to let go of the control and just know that it's all going to unfold beautifully. As I'm talking to you guys, I'm processing that for myself, because I'm like, okay, breathe. Like, because once you, like, when you're controlling, you get anxious, you want to know, it's good leadership quality because you are on top of things, but it's also something that makes you crazy. So that's the word for today. How I'm feeling. Yeah, my mind was blown from that devotion today. I'm like, damn, let me just continue writing my thumbnail and doing my little thing for today. But that was a word for me, like a word. Let that trust. It's all unfolding beautifully. In August, I fully surrendered. I think I just got tired of my own shit and was just like, listen, either you're going to trust the process, trust God to bring forth what he needs to bring forth, or you're going to just cause yourself into a manic, crazy person who's controlling and not controlling anything. And I just decided, I was like reading my devotion, and I was just like, you know what, I'm going to let go. And I'm really going to let go. For real. I'm probably one of God's biggest challengers one of his challenging children, where I want to control, and I had to just let go. And once I really let go, was like, you know what, you did this, you got this far, trust the process and let go, is when honestly I started to flourish. August kind of just took off for everything that I had going on until now. Like, I made the most money that I ever made. I got campaigns that just landed in my lap. Fashion Week ended up being great, which we'll talk about, but it blew my mind. Hi guys, I have not, oh my God, the mic is in my brow. I have not checked in from yesterday. Like, honestly, like, my Fashion Week has been so damn good. Like, just so amazing I could actually cry. Like, so good. I have this scarf on because I'm going to the gym, because I need to have some type of routine. Like, I haven't gone to the gym in days and I need to go. So we're gonna do that before we get ready. I'll tell you what we're doing later today, but it's been good. It's just been so good. So yesterday, I'm gonna give you a recap and tell you about my feelings. Excuse the mess. It's New York Fashion Week. This rack is a mess. Everything is a mess. I look a mess. But the event at YouTube, didn't know what to expect at all, and it was amazing. I saw all the girls. I met Cassie Thorpe. She was so freaking sweet, just like how she is in her videos, all animated and funny. Just how she was in person. So beautiful. I met Sheree, Asia, Danielle, Solid Beauty Doctor was there, Monroe was there, Brittany for Pockets and Bows, she was there, Karen Brit Chic. It was awesome. I think we all didn't know what to expect, because we were thinking event, which it was an event, but then it was actually like a panel of things for us to learn for YouTube, I guess, to get ready for the winter. So we were like learning, it was like class, but that I'm going to the Gauntlet Chang show with YouTube to create for YouTube.
I almost cried at the damn Google office. So I'm going to a show today with YouTube, the Gotland Chang show. My outfit is perfect. I'm just, because it goes along with the vibe of the designer. It's in Brooklyn at the Arlo. I'm so excited. I'm so blessed. And not that I meant for this clip to be so long-winded, but I got a comment on my YouTube video, the one where we're prepping. And it wasn't a terrible comment, but it was kind of like a backhanded comment. You know, one of those comments that are good, but then like, oh, well, is it a compliment? But like, are you insulting me? So the comment was along the lines, and I'm not mad at this person. You can have your opinions, share them. She was just like, oh, I expected more creativity from your looks. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like, she said that they were typical. And I was like, oh, meh. Like, you know what I mean? You know, you start feeling like, damn, I thought I was killing it. And I say this to say that there's nothing wrong with having an opinion or nothing wrong with stating how you feel. Absolutely. We're on a public platform. And she wasn't rude about it. But I was just thinking to myself, like, you know, this year for Fashion Week, I was on a tight budget, like tight because I had a last minute trip with my family. We had to go to Boston to support a family member. I just wanted to really dig in my wardrobe, be myself, right? Be myself, look myself, which is my authentic sense of style. I'm like, okay, that means I have a strong authentic style, if you know what I mean, sense of style, if you think it's typical, because that's what I would wear. But I want to inspire people mostly who watch my channel to know, and I see so many comments on threads where people are like, oh, I really want to go to Fashion Week, but I this and I can't. And I'm just telling you that you can, number one, right? Use what's in your closet, get some jewelry from TJ Maxx like I did, and work that shit out, right? But mostly you deserve to be in those rooms and be in those spaces. There are so many opportunities that I got this year just by being in this space. Did I think that I'll be at a Kensington Gray event this year? No, I did not. Did I think that I'll be at a YouTube event this year? No, I did not. Did I think that I'll be shooting content for YouTube Shorts? No, I did not. And you may look at my following and be like, oh, I'm a smaller creator, but I'm in the rooms with the people. With the people, right? With the people. So bet on yourself. Do the work. If you guys don't start a damn YouTube channel, if you are, start one, keep going, be consistent, show up. So yes, I might not be giving Carrie Bradshaw and the latest designer, but I'm giving you my authentic self, and I'm here, and I'm so grateful for all of you guys who watch my channel, support me. It means the world to me because, like, I cannot believe I'm going to that tonight, and I'm like, I'm not gonna be scrambling. I'm gonna go to the gym to zen myself. This wasn't not meant to be a 7-minute clip, but I just have to say what was on my heart. So I'm giving myself, and I'm sure years later from 2024, when you're watching this, I'm sure I'll be working with little points and getting dressed, and designers letting me borrow things. And I love that for me. But right now, this is where I am. So here's where I am. This is the creativity. This is what I'm wearing. Well, not this, but like, these are the looks. And I hope you guys love it. But if you want to come to New York Fashion Week, go. If you want to go to Essence, whatever, what is it? The Essence Festival, go. Make connections, build with people. You never know. Like, sometimes you never know about events. You could just meet other girls and just be like, hey, oh, you're going here? And you could connect that way and go to things. Go to connect, build community, build relationships. That's all I have to say. So we're going to the gym. I'm not going to show you the gym since I've been talking for 8 minutes, but that was on my heart and I wanted to say it. So I'll check in later when I'm dressed and we're going to the Gotland Chang show. My God, September was a whirlwind, but one where I just felt like I belonged. I think right before this month, even though I was grateful for all the opportunities, I felt like a little imposter syndrome, and it felt like, okay, am I going back to work? What am I gonna do? And then September, it just took off. I was working this New York Fashion Week with paid opportunities. I got acknowledged by my Black job at YouTube to kind of go to their corporate offices to explore and learn more and be invited. And it just felt like a dream. It truly felt magical. I was burnt out and tired and exhausted, but it just felt so good to be in spaces that I dreamed of being. I was out every day. When I tell you I was outside, but it truly felt like I just couldn't believe that this got to be my life for this month. And it felt so rewarding and it felt so good.
Lose gravity. Romantic dream at midnight. So hard to please. Drowning in what feels just like an ocean. Negativity is getting closer. Harder keeps the heat when it gets colder. You know.
October, I was super grateful. I landed like amazing brand deals. I got to go to YouTube again, this time for the holiday house in California. It was a whirlwind that I forgot to actually do a recap, but I felt like immensely blessed. I was just like, so many great things were happening this month. And I was just like, again, I was just like in disbelief. So today is November 1st, and I have not checked in on my content creation journey for the past month. A few findings. So this has probably been like the busiest month from October to November that I've ever had in my content creator career, right? So I have like the last year, like when I was working full time, I had maybe one holiday campaign that was in December that again wasn't stress induced. It was just a regular normal campaign with Bloomingdale's. This year, like last month, I have about like 6 campaigns I did, and I'm so blessed and it's amazing. Now, with that being said, as I'm learning this process and this being something that's new to me, I have to learn that, like yesterday I had a bad day, and I've been saying I don't have bad days. And it wasn't a bad day because I claimed it to be, just that because this is my dream job, I learned that I have to take breaks. I have to schedule days off. I can't just work the whole day. Like yesterday, I didn't go to the gym. And I woke up 6:30, 7 a.m. I was working all day from 7 a.m. to like 7 p.m. That's no. And even though this is like the job of my dreams, I still shouldn't be working all day like that. I still should be making sure that every day, just like I would at my old job, I'm going to the gym in the morning. And trust me, like working that early and working to that late, I did not get ahead. Everything that could have gone wrong went wrong. So I'm learning that I have to balance days off. I have to run my schedule like a 9 to 5. Like I work 9 to 5, 9 to 6 sometimes. And I get it. This time was different, being that it's November 1st and there are certain things that had like a deadline. But that's what I'm learning, even though, and I'm like I felt a little guilty. Like, this is my dream job. Are you complaining? I'm not complaining, but I have to treat it like it is work. You wouldn't work all day anywhere else, so you don't work all day at this job. Yeah, but we are super busy. Like when I think about this year compared to last year, when they say that your life can change within a year, I am living proof of that because right now I shouldn't be even talking on here. I should be editing a campaign that's due at 2 o'clock and it's 12:30. And the computer that I've been complaining about all year, I have decided, I have thrown in the towel. I'm going to get a new computer. Contacted my business rep at Apple. They were like, yep, the new one's dropped November 8th. I'm like, sign me up because this is not working for me. But yeah, I just wanted to check in because we're going strong, and not to like, again, I always like to keep my channel and be not modest, but like very humble. I don't like talking about money and things like that. But if we add all the brand deals that I got between this month and last month, I've like doubled my salary of what I would take home at my job for a month. And I don't want to say I don't think I could have done that. I didn't think that I could do that. If you would have told me that in May, I wouldn't have believed that I could do that. And it's only November. October just ended yesterday. And to that, I say like, it kind of just, and I've been applying for work because I'm still in this kind of space of just like, just keep going, just keep going, just keep going. But I'm still operating in the fear of unknown because I literally don't know what's going to happen. I'm like, some days I'm like, okay, I'm solid, I know. And then like some days I'm just like, I don't know what's going to happen. Let me apply for jobs. But every time I apply for something, I'm getting some rejection. So I'm just gonna keep going what God's telling me to do. But I just wanted to do that check-in. Like things are going great. Things are insanely busy this holiday season. Insanely busy. Opportunities have just been coming to me left and right, and I am blessed. So yeah, you probably see this. I'm hoping that I can compile all my months of me checking in into just one long video. It's crazy. It's so crazy. I feel filled with so much gratitude because I can't believe like this is my life right now. Like this is my life. And I'm just like,
I can't believe it. It's just so shocking. And I'm hoping, like, of course, like once I round up all these clips, I'll put like my final thoughts together. But if you just come up with a plan, you can do anything and just trust in God and just keep going and fighting. And I'm fighting every day because like yesterday was not a good day. But we out here, we working, we're doing it. I hope you guys have loved all my campaigns because your girl is out here, she working.
So a December update. Oh my God. It's so crazy. I've been wanting to talk about this for so long, and I hope you guys understand why I waited. It was just a lot. It was just a lot. That this year was definitely the personal growth year for me. That really, when it comes down to it, when I like think of everything, it really wasn't about content creation full time at all. It was about facing fear, getting over mind blocks, getting over being burnt out, and just kind of getting into the new Jasmine. So I hope that, you know, when you watch this, you can relate and be inspired, not just for 2025, but just for life in general. There's so much that I want to say, and of course I want to keep it streamlined because I don't want it to go on for forever. But editing this video was like, who I was like when I recorded that segment in December 2023 and now into now is like a different person. I feel so much joy and just feel better as a person. I remember recording that, and you could just tell by the energy of how just burnt out and just sick and tired I was of just my life, of how it was. I think for me, obviously creating content and being a full-time content creator was my dream for this year, but it was my dream in starting content creation in 2019. And it's so funny because when I spoke to somebody that used to work at my company, when I first got hired, she remembered in my interview, I just was starting as a front desk. I just said, hey, I want to like have this job just so it can support my blog. And she told me that she remembered that, and she was so happy for me because, and mind you, she just guessed that I was doing it full time just based on the content that I was posting. And she was like, oh, you always talked about this, you always wanted this. So full circle, kind of going into the job for it to be to support my full-time career, to coming and piecing out the job because my side hustle has taken off. Just to see that of how I felt and just kind of coming full circle, it's just like wow. And I hope that if you do watch this, not that I want to talk about my past job so much and make this video about the job, because it's not about the job, it was about my journey, but my job was awful. I worked in a toxic work culture, toxic work environment. That's just what it was. So I think for me, like, of course leaving was hard, but it was like I had to go for my mental sanity and for my mental health. It wasn't just like, oh my God, my consecration, bye. Like, I had to leave for those reasons. Who quits a job and has to go back? That's how you know it was like toxic. And just the workload, like if I can, I'll insert a clip because I saw a TikTok and she explained what being a manager was like so perfect.
Wants to become a manager anymore, which I think is some version of nobody wants to work anymore.
The reason people don't want to be a manager anymore is because it's a glorified unpaid internship. Okay, yeah, you get paid for your work, but the pay is not worth the work that you're doing, which is why I equate it to an internship. You start at the associate level, which is entry level, and you get paid half a doubloon. You're not doing that much work, so you're like, you know what? This is not that bad, but I want to make more money. So let me see if I can advance in my career and become a manager. So you become a manager and you realize, hold on, I only get a full doubloon despite doing 3 times the work I was previously doing as an associate. This is where people get to a point in their career that they're like, you know what? I'm going to take it on the chin, continue to do this work because I know it's an internship opportunity to make it to the next level where I'm really going to start making the pirate's booty. I'm going to start really getting that Lucky Charms bag. Then you get other people that are like, this isn't worth it. I'd rather just either stay at the manager level or go back to around the associate level, see if I can get some more money, because there are senior associate levels where you can get, you know, a doubloon and a half, perhaps. As you can see by this beautiful chart, the higher up you go, the less you do. And the problem that we have right now is a lot of people who are millennials and Gen Z are stuck at this point because people at the director and executive level who happen to be boomers and Gen X are getting a lot of money for doing not so much work, right? So how do we get these people out and move these people up to keep the relationship flowing. Well, it's kind of hard because these people don't want to leave because of how much money they're getting for very little work. I personally believe there are people out there that want to be managers and they want to progress up the ladder. But there's a standstill right here. People aren't able to move up the ladder because these people aren't transitioning over to retirement. So I feel like there's a surplus of people who have been at this manager point for a really long time and they're over it. And then they have like younger people who are associates seeing how burnt out they are at a manager level, not being able to progress. So these people are like, heck no, I'm not about to go through what these people just went through for only half of the boom.
Because you're at this like weird level, like you want to get to a director, you're in this middle ground where you're getting the load of responsibility, the workload, and you're not really seeing anything much from it. Like, yeah, you may be making a 6-figure salary, but you're working like an animal. And obviously with management and operations and managing and overseeing people, so I worked in a plastic surgery center where I oversaw like doctor schedules, so I'm working with surgeons. You already know what that's like. Nurses, medical assistants, front desk, all of that, even somebody who does estheticians who do the massages. You have the day-to-day operations, which can be annoying. Like, you got to write people up, you got to hold people accountable. The day-to-day operations, which I think I could have just managed if it was just that and consecration, because I've worked in retail and management like pretty much my whole adult life. I've been key holder, I've been working. My mom had me out there working since I was 15, so I could handle that. It was just that this business was run like a crazy retailer. And I won't even say crazy retailer because I've worked retail. You have your goals, but the pressure and the stress day to day, just to talk about it, just so you understand the level of burnout and stress that I was feeling and I was managing this. When I look back, I don't even know how I was creating content at this kind of level of burnout and stress. But you get your sales goals every month, which mine was like probably $1 million because I managed 2 businesses. Now you have your goal. Now you talk to your boss, which was like director, and you figure out how you're going to take this goal and make it. So that's why I'm so used to planning everything. Okay, I have to make the $40,000 a day. I have to break it up this way, this way, this way. Then you get surgery goals for the month. So say for instance you have 60 is your surgery goal. You have to try to get over that goal. So if you have a doctor, say Dr. Vance, which is made up, I have 4 surgeons. Dr. Vance works Mondays and Wednesdays. So Mondays and Wednesday, you have to make sure that schedule is filled. Nothing falls off. So of course, in a surgical environment, things are going to fall off because patients get COVID. Maybe they're not medically cleared for whatever reason. Maybe the doctor doesn't feel comfortable proceeding with their surgery. Now, it is my job on top of that to manage that. But if there's another day, if a case falls off, I have to ask Dr. Vance and be like, hey, Dr. Vance, your schedule's Monday and Tuesday, but can you work Friday? And just have the workload adding on to that, because it was a very capitalist company. They didn't care about people. They didn't care about how you felt. They didn't care about if you're experiencing burnout. It was to make money and have surgery. That's what it was about. So if Dr. Vance says he can work Wednesday, Friday, and even he could open up a Saturday, we have to open that up to get as many sales as possible. And just having that stress, never mind the sales consultant goals, the sales goal, just everything, it was just a lot, and it was truly awful, and I hated working there. And it was days of burnout of me going on my break and crying in the car. It was days of burnout of being so exhausted where my boss might be like, oh, we didn't make goal, we're not at goal this week, you're gonna have to open on Saturday. So mind you, this goes from Monday to Friday. Now I have to work on Saturday. Do I necessarily have to work on Saturday? No, I might be able to like have my team or have my assistant work on Saturday, but I'm still have to be on call, because if something goes wrong, who are they gonna call? They're gonna call me. So I went from working Monday through Friday to Monday through Saturday, and I remember in my head thinking, oh my God, if I have to work Saturday, shit, when am I going to get like my YouTube video up? Oh my God, like I'm dropping my laundry off already. I'm outsourcing my grocery shopping. I'll be like, oh my God. There were days, there were weeks where I had to record, edit, post videos in one day, and I did it. And you can imagine how exhausting that was. But showing up for me, for what I loved, was more important than letting the job win. So you can only imagine the burnout that I experienced and the stress that I experienced during that time. And that's just a little part of it. That's just what I can really remember, because now it's so crazy, because thinking back to how I felt and the burnout and the workload, it's like maybe it's a trauma response. I'm just trying to forget it, but it was just insane. It was crazy. I remember, and even with sales goal, if you get to 100% to goal, of course you get a great bonus. Now, if you get to 100% to bonus, your boss is gonna be like, okay, you get to 105. If you get to 105, can you get to 110? If you get to 110, can you get to 115? It was always more, to the point, if you got to 125% of a goal, which is a great bonus, your boss is gonna be like, hey, can you make $30,000 more to make up for Long Island not making it? Just the constant pressure and stress of it just never being enough. And quite honestly, coming out and being where I am today, I had to heal from the exit of a toxic job. It was like getting out of a bad relationship where, you know how when you break up with somebody that's toxic and not the best for you, you're like, damn, I should have left then. It was kind of like that for me, especially in July. It was kind of like, I can't believe I was treated like this at work. I can't believe I experienced that level of burnout. I can't believe that I was made to feel like this at work. I can't believe I was unappreciated at work. So a lot of me in July was healing from my job. Now, who has to heal from exiting a job, you know? But I had to. And now, like, looking back, of course I could think about how awful those experiences was, but like, you will go in with the intentions of having a good day, and it was just always a bad day. Even my assistant was like, every day is a bad day. I would come in from the gym, literally running out the door. The only thing I could film was my damn outfit office of the day. I would just put the damn phone up and do my outfit real quick and leave because I didn't even have the creativity to think. It was just a bad day. I remember one time getting like a really good bonus. Now this bonus was good. The money was lit. And I remember looking at my account and being like, this bonus feels like shit. Like, I was like, I have worked, I have slaved, I have cried. Is this money even worth it? And even my assistant was like, yeah, like I feel like that too. Like, it was just like, you know what, just keep the money. Like, it wasn't worth the tears and pain of that experience. And that's all I'm gonna say about the job. It was a toxic work culture, and I think, and maybe I needed to experience that. Maybe God just wanted me to experience that so I can exit and leave, because he knew if I was comfortable and cushy, I would make it work like I've been working. So I know how hard I worked and how hard I worked this year, and it's been damn hard. And I will say this before we get into me now, what's next, is if you are watching this and you are in a toxic work culture, toxic work environment that's taking a toll on your mental health, I want you to look at me now and look at me. You have to leave. You have got to exit, and you have to make a plan to get out. It's affecting you more than you think. And I think when I went to therapy, and she was like, because you get used to it, you know what I mean? You get used to like the toxicity, and she was like, yeah, you gotta go. And I was like, oh shit, I gotta go. Like, you know what I mean? I didn't even realize. And I think so many of us, we get to a big age, and it could be toxic work culture, and we just start trudging along. You know, you start getting depressed. Like, I had high functioning depression because I was just dealing with it, because that's all you know, and you know you got these bills, this rent. I don't even have kids, and I felt the big responsibility to show up and just kind of deal with it. And sometimes it's just like, no, figure something else out. And, you know, whoever you have in your life, whether it be husband, wife, or mother, if it's really causing your mental health, have a discussion with them and come up with a plan and get the hell out of there. And that's all I'm going to say about that. But now, in 2025, the Brown Girl Beauty Corporation is going to just keep going. Obviously, I'm still learning. I'm still a new entrepreneur. I'm still learning. This season of, like, this is why I took a break, because when I tell you, I have worked my ass off. I worked my ass off. Like, if you follow me on Instagram, you see the content. I've been posting 5 days a week. I put myself, this is how manager-like I am. I put myself on a 90-day performance plan. Once I exited my job, I was like, you know what? I'm putting myself on a 90-day performance plan, and we're gonna go for it. And every month I'm gonna see what we got in, what we earned in brand partnerships, what we earned on YouTube, and we're gonna go for it. And if at the end of the 90 days of performance it's not looking good, then, you know, you look for a job. There will be no failure. To me, I knew that I could not fail. There was no failure, because at the end of the day, hell, if I get a job next month and it's a great corporate position and it's great and it gives me the benefits, I'm gonna look at it. Like, you know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with working. I don't judge anybody for a job. I was like, if I have to be at the supermarket working, I will work. One thing I will do is work, and I'm not against a job. So once I looked at my 90-day plan, I was like, if it's not really feasible and it's not working out, then, you know, we figure out other things out. But I just knew that that toxic work culture was not for me, and it wasn't going to be for me, and it just wasn't going to be my story. I just couldn't do it anymore. And I think as my platforms, both of them, Instagram and YouTube, were growing, I couldn't balance it anymore. I just couldn't. I was just too burnt out. I would literally go to therapy, be burnt out, have a vacation, like my brother got married, and then 2 weeks later be burnt out again. Like, it was just like, I couldn't keep up with it. I couldn't. And something had to give. I was like, either if I loved my job and it was a great company, then maybe I was sought out help. Like, I would have hired maybe an editor or like assistant, because it would have been worth it. But then I was like, I ain't doing all that for this. I hate this place, you know. But in 2025, we are just gonna keep going. I don't know. I just hope that, I don't know, I just hope for the best, and I just have to take it one day at a time. I just hope this is a word to somebody that YouTube can, yes, change your life. I went from like, and this is why I had not a problem, but this is why I was like, at some points I couldn't see the light, because I was like, okay, like when I was working, you know, I got my little check from YouTube. It was cool, my little $400. I was like, oh, you know, cool. You know, when you're working and, you know, you're making a good salary, you're like, sure. But then so I was like, oh my God, I can't do with that. I can't do anything with that as a full-time creator. But just when I doubled down and said, I'm going to create 2 videos a week, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it for 90 days because I had to give a chance for the plan to work. The money increased. Now that's like, that pays my rent and other bills. I just would say, like, just keep going. Come up with a plan. Whatever you want to do. Hell, if you want to be a yoga instructor in 2025, come up with a plan and do it. You can do anything. This year, I have shocked myself. Like, even just seeing these clips of just how sometimes I was just struggling with fear. Do I have fear now? I have normal fear. I have fear like, oh, okay, well, we'll see. But I don't have that, like, stifling, like, oh, fear anymore. I'm just like, what you got? What you got? What's good? Like, you know what I mean? I feel like I can pretty much do anything. I'm just like, what you got for me? I can handle it. Watch it. I better never say I'm scared. But it's just been such a great, enlightening experience of just going after the things that you want. Even if you guys have other questions, leave them for me down below and I can answer them in a, you know, a different video, just about if you have anything specific that you want to know. But now I'm happy, which is something I just hadn't experienced in so long. Like, let me tell you a quick story of when I knew that I experienced joy, like, for the first time. So when me and my boyfriend, we went on vacation. Now, I used to dread vacations, and this is why. So I remember, like, when I was, so February in 2024, when I went to Jamaica, or even when April, when I went to DC for the week, like, I will always be present and have great times on the vacation. But coming back, I would be like, I literally, even my employees would be like, oh, you seem sad. And I'd be like, because I was dreading coming back. I was like, oh my God. Okay, in Jamaica, there's only 3 more days left of the vacation. Oh, there's only 3 days left of the vacation. Oh God. And before I even boarded the plane to leave Jamaica, I would get texts of things happening in the office, or like your boss not really handling things when you were gone. Like, there's no sense of going on vacation if the day I get back, you're gonna just dump everything on me. Like, it's like, thanks. Like, I would just be dreading it because I knew I had to deal with it. When I went to DR this year in August, when it was done, the vacation was done, I was like, okay, it's done. Can't wait to get back home to get to work. And I, like, literally cried at the joy of that, because for so long I would be dreading going away because I just didn't, I hated coming back to the life that I had. And in August, when I was able to experience, like, coming back to work and it just being like, okay, back to work. Cool. Like, vacation was great. Like, usually landing in JFK was like doomsday. This time I was like, okay, back home. And to me, that was just like a turning point in just how I felt in general. I was like, oh my God. You know, I hope these companies know that people treat your people with respect. These companies, they be terrible, terrible. And they swear people don't want to work. People want to work, but people don't want to work in hostile, toxic work environments that don't respect work-life balance, that don't respect boundaries, that don't want to have people working from Monday through Saturday, always on call. Like, it was just a lot. So that's what I have to say. That has been my 2024 journey into self, journey into therapy, journey into believing and going after a goal that I wanted. I hope this inspires you. Please leave questions if you have any down below, and I'll address them in the next video. I could just go on for days, but I don't want to talk about that job no more, because what? Who needs that job? You know, but I just hope, you know, in 2025 you set some goals and be serious, and just know that when you're setting your goals, and maybe I can do a video on this, like, there has to be some action. Like, if you have all these grand goals but your mindset is fucked, you know what I mean? Your mindset is fucked and you are just dealing with some trauma that you need to heal, you got to work on that first, babe, before you get to the big stuff, because sometimes that's holding you back too, and that's important. So I feel like I've been released. I feel like I told you guys, you know what's up. And that's it. So be sure to like this video and subscribe. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for supporting me in 2024. You have no idea what this was like. It was a lot. It was a lot, but thank you. Thank you so much. Every like, every comment, even the people who notice, like, I love your content, and they've noticed like a little changes and just noticed everything. Thank you, because you have no idea. Like, I worked my ass off. And let me tell you something really quick before we end. This content creation, being the editor, the producer, the writer, the makeup artist, the stylist, it's hard. So hard. It's a different hard. It's not toxic hard, but it's hard work. And everybody who's noticed this year, I appreciate you so much. Happy New Year! Be safe and be well. Bye.